Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Fiscal Philosophy YouTube channel. Part of being a good steward of money is understanding to the best of your ability what exactly it is you're buying when you invest your money. And I think when it comes to YieldMax ETFs like TSLY, TSLY, there is, amongst the people who buy into it and have high conviction in it, a fundamental misunderstanding of what it is that they're actually owning. Essentially, what these funds do is they buy a series of options that create a synthetic position in the underlying company. They own no shares. And then what they do is they sell options against those options. Yo, dog, I heard you like options. While this strategy creates a high nominal yield, all options, at least on paper, trade at what you would call even money in betting markets. So usually they might be a good strategic way to occasionally amplify your returns or possibly make a directional bet on a specific security. Unfortunately, that actually requires keeping somewhat of an eye on what's going on in the market and having a reason why you think a certain directional bet makes sense. And when it comes to these options ETFs where they just do the same thing over and over again, well, it has a higher chance of playing out a little bit more like what you would expect on paper. Now, notice that the price deterioration has been about $16.60 over the last 1 year. Now, you might be saying, hey, maybe the yield made up for it. Well, actually, in the same trailing 12-month period, they paid out $15.37 worth of distributions. This means that basically the net asset value is deteriorating at almost the exact same rate that they're paying out distributions. And a small amount of that excess deterioration is probably due to the almost 1% management fee charged by YieldMax for implementing this so-called strategy. Now, I think the only people really making money on this YieldMax ETF is YieldMax themselves. They basically collect 1% no matter what, regardless of what direction it goes, while you, the investors, maybe barely break even. Sounds like a heck of a racket to me. And I have one more question, I guess, for the YieldMax buyers. If you actually think you understand these option strategies they're using and think that they're actually viable, why are you paying a 1% management fee for YieldMax to do it for you and giving up so much of your returns? If you think that it's going to give you a good total return, why not get options access in your own portfolio and simply do the strategy yourself, if you understand it? This is why I think YieldMax sort of appeals to people who don't understand the strategy in the first place, unfortunately. And unfortunately, there are communities popping up encouraging people to buy into this. Look at this video. Start small. You don't need to own 3,000 shares of TSLY to win the dividend game, implying that there is some number of shares of TSLY that would help you supposedly win the dividend game. So even calling the distributions they pay dividends is a little bit misleading. A dividend is something that comes from a company's free cash flow, and this is purely options premium. Now, this channel, We the Khmers, is the one that's putting out these videos, and I really gotta wonder what this person is thinking. They're supposedly high yield dividend warriors. Well, when I think of high yield, I think like 8, 9, 10%, that kind of thing, like Altria Group, BTI, stuff like that. Maybe REITs, maybe ARCC, BDCs, stuff like that. And think about this. The risk-free yield is what you would get on a 90-day treasury, let's say, maybe around 5% or so at today's interest rates. You're not going to get something that's many times that without some kind of drawback. There's no such thing as a free lunch in the market. That is the thing I think these guys are failing to understand. Now, let me just say this. I don't want we the Khmers to fail. I don't want him and his followers to lose money on their investments. I want them to succeed. But I don't think that this is the way to do it. I'm sure the vast majority of these people are nice guys. They probably deserve to have their investments work out. But there is no free lunch in the market, okay? And the sooner they learn that, the sooner that they can get into more productive investment ideas. Hopefully they can escape this echo chamber of thinking that they can buy $30,000 worth of TSLY and just retire. If you found this video to be informative and correct, make sure that you like it for the algorithm, subscribe to my channel for more like this, and make sure you follow me on Discord, link in the description. Catch me every Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern on Cashflow Kings Live, link in the description. Take it easy, everybody.